Now, one of the things that I've learned in my 44 years of living, investing, building, just in life, is that crazy things have happened in the past, and I can almost be certain that crazy things will happen again in the future. Now, I can tell you what you want for a fee, or I can tell you what you need to hear for free. I'm gonna start saying that. I actually like that. Somebody's gonna take that. But at the end of the day, I get comments. And if you noticed, I veered away from stock videos, okay? I'm at work, so if you hear, trucks and cars and you see me do this, it's because I'm recording a video and somebody's gonna walk past me. But if you notice, I veered away from the stock videos. I get comments. This person, the math ain't mathing. I respect you guys telling me in the comment section. Thank you so much to my subscribers. I appreciate you guys. But that person is going to do what they do, the only thing they know how to do, make shit up. After I caught this person telling one of the biggest lies about a Roth IRA, I literally checked out. I checked out when you have the will and motivation to make videos calling people out when you see things that are not right, and they got to do a live stream with 5 other people, licking their boots. You see, a real man goes through life not looking for validation. You're okay being by yourself with a handful of friends in your life. You don't need the acceptance of car clubs and all these people on social media to validate you. You walk your own path, and what will be, will be. Now, let me show you the clip that I'm talking about when it comes to the Roth IRA.
Look at this one really, really good. I put $30,000 into this account. 30. All right. You guys see how much is in there right now. 117K out of 30,000. That's almost a 4-bagger. And guess what? It's a Roth IRA, okay? It's a family Roth that I'm doing for a family member. Let's put it that way. It's a Roth IRA. I 4X'd it in 1 year, okay?
So the first story, right, ladies and gentlemen? Let's look at the second story he tells. And he's wearing the same suit, and he's going to tell a third story. These are the qualifications to do a mega backdoor Roth IRA. He said he did it for a family member. How do you roll a 401k from your working job to a family member? There might be tax implications. You had to leave a job. Make this make sense. The lie is right in front of you, right in front of you. So you took your hardworking 401k and rolled it into penny stocks that don't even have profits, ladies and gentlemen. If you rewind that video, QUBT, Qubits, all these quantum computing stocks, he miraculously took his 401k, paid taxes on it, and rolled it for a family member. How do you do that? Now we're going to look at this video. He's going to tell you a third story after this video.
Yep, that exists. So if you got a 401k, for those of you that got your own businesses, you got a SEP or any type of 401k. Now, it's not every 401k, so check with your broker. You can just give them a call. And so you could take money from your 401k on some of them. You check with your financial advisor to see if yours qualify. And I'm able to take money from my 401k and roll it into my Roth IRA. So what you have to do is you have to go to the government site, see.
Yeah, that's a great idea. All the years you spent working building a 401k, let's roll it into penny stocks. This is why you can't talk stocks anymore, because some dumbass went and did that, okay? Now let's look at the third story.
Put in 7,000, 7,000, 8,000, and 8,000. If you are 50, if you are 49 and younger, you can put in $7,000 a year annually into a Roth IRA. But once you turn 50, you can put in 8,000. So I put in 7,000 and 7,000, and then 1 year I put 8,000 and another 8,000, and so that's where the 30 came from.
Do you see how that person had to cover their tracks? I called them out. He told 3 different stories. First, he said he did $30,000 in a Roth IRA in 1 year for a family member. Then he said some shit about a mega backdoor Roth IRA. You need to have a 401k. You need to be a high income earner to be able to do that. I doubt his subscribers are high income earners, okay? And then he said how he did 7,000, 7,000, 8,000, 8,000. You see how it had to equal 30,000? So is he 51 years old, ladies and gentlemen? Make that math make sense. I don't know if he's 51. So you mean to tell me at 48, you miraculously did 7,000? 49, you did 7,000. At 50, you did 8. And at 51, you did 8 to equal 30? He'll never talk about that portfolio again. He'll never show that portfolio again because, you know, he don't have to worry about it. He can show it all he wants. I'm done calling these people out. Your situation will be your situation. I said that on the beach in Virginia Beach. Your situation is your situation. You will know you did it right or wrong when you're 60, 65, and you go look at your Social Security and you're only going to get $1,100 a month or $1,000. You didn't make as much as you can during your working lifetime because you believed an influencer that said Social Security is not going to be here. And what happens when it is? Can you turn back time and do it over? No, you can't. You got to work more years or hope to die early. So when it comes to finances, I can only make videos talking about saving, car debt, car payments, credit card. I'm going down the middle of the road, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have any sponsors I got no merchandise I sell. I got no courses and classes. I make enough money, and what I want to do is achieve telling the truth, make enough for cigars. That's really it. If I got some over, I'll go. If I got some extra money, you know, some videos will do better than others. I'll go get some Mexican food. I'll get some takeout. But I don't do it for the revenue. If I did, I would be having classes and making shit up. You see, a lie can be told every day. You can tell a different lie every day. Ask any honest influencer that has no classes, no Patreons, no Discords. They will tell you, you literally run out of topics to talk about. It literally gets repetitive. This is why I slowed my videos down to once a week, because I literally told you my whole story on how I did it. Go back to prior videos. A lot of people, they didn't arm themselves with knowledge of books to be able to spot this stuff. What they did was depend on YouTube influencers. Back in 2020, let me rewind this. Let me tell you a story about COVID. COVID came, took everybody, craziness in the past, took everyone by surprise, by storm. When a lot of these influencers popped up, their message was, okay, we can't depend on our 9-to-5s. Absolutely right. But then they start saying generational wealth, Wall Street looks like us. They tried to have it based on skin color. Wealth does not see skin color, okay? It doesn't. You either have the financial literacy or you don't. We have a short-term memory of how a lot of these influencers got absolutely destroyed at the end of 2022, 2023. Do you know what I can guarantee again? People will get destroyed again. They have repeatedly. What they did, I said it, was introduce heroin to their own community. They were no better than drug pushers. Taking profits. Explain to me how taking profits now will help you later on. You will have people in the comment section. I know you're uneducated. I can't help you. I can no longer talk to brain dead people. You won't get it. I take my short-term money and then I put it into my long-term. No, you don't. No, you don't. You take that and you go buy liabilities. You make a quick $5,000 or $10,000. That's more money than you've ever seen in your life. You go shopping, you buy cars, you put a down payment. You'll take $10,000 and buy a $90,000 car. That's what you do. That's what the majority of people without financial literacy do. They don't walk away with their winnings and they're done. They keep going because they say, if I made $5,000, I could make $100,000. It don't work like that. They will listen to an influencer that puts up a disclaimer saying it's educational purposes, but then sell you a $10,000 course. They'll go to InvestFest. InvestFest is like a swap meet. Have you ever been to a swap meet? I used to go to swap meets back in the day. I was a tuner guy. I had Evos, SRT4s, all type of, tuner cars, Integra GSRs. Here's what I would do. I would go to these swap meets. I would get axles at a discount. I would get ECU tunes. It would be table set up, right? I used to go to all these swap meets. That's what InvestFest is. It's tables of marketing and entrepreneurs trying to recruit people to sign up for their stuff. That's all it is. I have a question for you. 2025, going into 2026, how is the black and brown community any better? How? We're still at the bottom when it comes to wealth. A few of us are comfortable. We're on track. We got some money. But how many black folks are literally financially free 5 years later? You got people up here that got channels that have a dividend portfolios but show spreadsheets. Every other month, they're selling out of a dividend stock, buying new ones. That's not how dividend stocks work. You got to hold these shits for years to see the compound interest. You got to hold index funds for years. Some people will hold an S&P 500 for a year or two, then sell out and go to another S&P 500 because it performed a little bit better. You got to hold that shit. You got to hold these international funds, these emerging market funds. You got to hold this shit, man. Long term, you got to hold them. A lot of people don't do that. They don't. So I pretty much can only help people save when it comes to your savings. I can try. Stop buying all these expensive ass cars. At the end of the day, the average person will never own a Lamborghini. It's not practical. Let's tell the truth here. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, if you saw a Lamborghini, you were lucky, and it was an older white guy that had it. Do you know who has a lot of these cars now? People that have a lot of debt. Debt is abundant. You can go finance to the gills until you can't. Anybody can go out there, trade in an M4, put $20,000 down, and they'll give you a McLaren or a Lamborghini or a Porsche. I can tell a lot of these influencers are lying when they get these Ferraris that are new, because you got to have like 4 or 5 different allocations of Ferraris before they even sell you that exclusive Ferrari. So a lot of times I know they're press cars. You can't just go out and buy the top of the line Ferrari brand new. You got to have like entry level Ferraris. Same thing with Lamborghinis. Same things with Porsches. You can't just go out there and buy these shits. You can't just get a Porsche GT3 RS brand new. You got to have like a Cayman and all these entry levels, a Cayenne and all these cars, a Panamera. Your life is going to be what it's going to be. I can't do it for you. So this is why I veered away from the stock videos. Everyone's a genius. You'll have people say you can outperform the S&P 500. Look, I'm doing it. But the original bet with Warren Buffett was over a decade. Can you outperform it for a decade? Not a day, not a week, not a month, not a year, for a decade. A lot of these influencers channels popped up in 2020. It hasn't even been a decade. Can you show your real long-term P&L? Have I outperformed the S&P 500? No, I get exactly the S&P 500 return. If you have a total stock market or even strongman personal finance, a VT or S&P, you're doing what the market does. And guess what? You're fine with that. You literally can delete all your investing apps, set it on cruise control, and every time you pass a McDonald's or Home Depot or pick up a Stanley Black & Decker, you know your money's working for you. Seriously. Even the international stuff, all the Louis Vuitton and Nordisk, whatever, as long as you got international merging, you good. As long as the world here, you're good. But most people don't want to hear that. They want to pay for a shortcut. And a shortcut ends up being the long about way, and you never get to your destination. So I can't help people anymore when it comes to stocks. Do what's best for you. If you think you're doing it right, you'll know at 60, 65, if you're still working, handing out hash browns, and a family rolls up and they got all the bikes on the back, they got the kayaks and canoes, and they're getting breakfast and they're headed to, a vacation, or they're on a road trip. What did they do right that you did wrong? That's when you'll know. Now, I'm about to get to work and I'm about to do my shift. No regrets. Get it.